Private moment for the character exercise. The private moment for the character exercise provides you with a method of introspection to connect with the character's innermost yearnings, thoughts, and feelings so that you can fully experience being alone and in private outside the confines of the script. This exercise is similar to the painting exercise, where you choose a character in a painting to inhabit, while imagining their world using the senses and emotions to search for the psychology and physical life of the character. It's necessary to find out as much as you can about the play, and sometimes exhaustive research is required to establish the character's psychological profile to understand what their life is like from every angle. If the era is a different time, you find out what was going on in the world at that time politically. Determine what the culture, food and style of clothing is like. What music is being listened to. It may be helpful to look at the character guide to provide biographical aspects of the role. Directors can ask you to improvise a private moment for your character to add additional values and colors that will enliven your portrayal. Responses will emerge that can move an audience and serve the play. Exercise steps. Since this exercise is conducive to being relaxed, it's not necessary to do relaxation beforehand, unless you feel especially tense. Choose a place where you feel private and uninhibited. Dress to develop a style that symbolizes the character's attitudes. Bring in a few props to help you believe in the place and the moment. You may add a piece of music establishing the character's mood, atmosphere, and rhythm. When working in class, stay in your designated space as the chosen character, and actively explore details of the place through each sense separately. Reach out and touch the walls, ceiling, fabrics, furniture. Look out the windows, eat, hear sounds, and smell. How does your character behave in that place? What are their private thoughts, desires, and needs? Try to do something you'd never do in front of anyone else. Do you talk to yourself, cry, rant, rave, look at yourself in the mirror and dance, or do you eat with a vengeance? Act in an uninhibited fashion, as if no one else was around. After about 30 minutes of working alone, I sometimes have you improvise with the other characters by breaking out of the privacy and entering into each other's private moments while staying in character. You improvise by talking about your character's life, describing in sensory detail who you are, why you're there, confiding your problems, and sharing your stories. You switch partners about every 10 minutes. Staying in character is a test of endurance and commitment. Stick to your convictions, but also absorb and respond to what the other actors are saying or doing, either verbally or non-verbally. You must let yourself be affected by the other characters. After the improvisations, you go back to your original place alone more engaged and broadened by the retelling of your story, and by experiencing the other characters' stories. Allow the influences to penetrate your character, deepening your personal narrative. At that time, after having established the place, behaviors, and psychology, you experiment with saying the lines and even acting out an entire scene. At home, the private moment for the character exercise is practiced the same way, but without the pressure of being watched and without the benefit of interacting with the other actors. After you've established your place at home, work with meeting imaginary characters to talk to and share your insights and lives with them the same way you do in class. The singular aim of the private moment for the character exercise is to invent behavior and imagine a full authentic life for the character, which will build faith in your portrayal. For example, a private moment for Hamlet could be him walking alone and talking aloud to himself in his massive and forbidding stone castle. Or it can be Treplev thinking to himself right before his summer evening's lakeside performance in The Seagull. Or Laura fantasizing in her threadbare living room with her fragile collection of glass miniatures in the glass menagerie.